Special meeting, and due to the fact it's a special meeting, we can't take comments, okay? Sorry. At this time, I'd like to call the meeting to order. And first item is discussion and possible action on the second reading of the policy changes. Does anybody have any questions or comments on it, or?
What?
Okay.
You see
Okay.
all these pages?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, let me check one other here.
Okay.
How did they, remind me, Madam Chair or Ms. Sloan, this school activity fund, we were out of compliance as far as the policy goes?
It's requiring, yes, it's requiring at least a good policy on donations. So this revises our district policy on donations, school donations and district donations.
This will keep up on who donated what and to what.
Yes, and the Red Book regulations require that the schools report that to the board if it's $1,000 or more. And that brings in alignment with our policy, which is we're updating is what we're doing here.
If it's less than $1,000, it's handled through the school. If it's over $1,000, it's handled through the board.
Yes, and then, well, it's at the district level. It's still for the school. It can still be for the school. It just has to be brought before the board to approve. And then at the end of the year, we have a list, and I gave the board members a list of all those donations, and that way you're aware of who's donating what.
Yeah, okay, okay.
You're welcome.
The school fundraising projects, does that include I'm new and I don't know what the policy is on it, but as far as, we have a lot of children standing on the streets collecting money for different things. Their organization is in need of money.
But I don't think we should let them stand in the road. No,
Well, I don't know, I just wanted to know what the policy was on that now.
If it is a school-wide fundraiser, the principal approves it. If it's a district-wide fundraiser, then the board approves it.
Oh,
Okay, but aren't all fundraisers, even if they're school fundraisers, don't the board have to approve them? I was under the impression that we did.
I think we do.
I think we do too.
Well, my question to that is different than Mr. Ball's. What I was just wanting to make sure that these people were in compliance. I mean, I've stopped and given to everything from Eden dance team to boys basketball to you know, there was another one that I remember. But I mean, I just was curious about. So you think that the school takes care of that
If it's,
for road? I don't know what you call that.
If they're standing and asking for donations for something from the, for maybe basketball, baseball,
Yeah.
football, it is not. But I think
It is not.
it doesn't come through us.
Okay.
But if it's sold through the school, T-shirts, pictures, concessions,
Maybe a car wash or something like that.
yeah, they would be on your professional conferences and workshops and vehicle use and fundraisers. And
So we're not, what I'm saying is we're not in violation for allowing kids to do that?
May I invite Ramona Gardner? She specializes in the Red Book. She can tell you our Red Book requirements.
Okay, the detail about them standing in the road asking for money,
Mm-hmm.
that's a decision that you all would have to make. It would be a board decision to say, we're not going to do roadblocks, I believe is what those are called. That would be a decision you all would make. We don't want our students doing roadblocks. But that would be a board policy. There is nothing in the Red Book that prevents students from doing whatever kind of fundraiser that gets approved. In the Red Book, it's required that anything that is a school-wide fundraiser has to come to you all for approval. And if it's just a fundraiser for like a particular group of kids, like the boys' basketball team, that can be approved by the principal. That's
Okay.
the regulation of the Red Book. You all can change that. If you want to see all the fundraisers, then you would put that into your board fundraising policy.
See, we had a problem
Thank
before. We had a problem before. I remember
Should be
this.
said somewhere. That's what I said.
There was something to do with finances that I had a person come to me that they had raised, the football team had raised money. We were going to buy the boys rings and stuff where they won, some type of, well, it might have been the year that they won when they were fourth in the state when they played. And well, the guy lives here, and they raised this money to buy everybody a ring, and then they went to the school and found out that the money had been spent, even though it was raised under their banner. From what I can understand, what they did, that they kind of took, the money from all these local booster clubs and pooled it into one general fund, and without giving up, the band raised this, the football boosters raised this, the basketball raised this. How would you go about preventing that?
When fundraisers are approved, all fundraisers, no matter who is doing the fundraiser, there's a fundraiser approval form. And on that form, they have to state what they're going to do with the money.
Okay.
And that's what ought to happen with the money. And if there was a fundraiser that was specifically to purchase rings for the football team, then that's what should have happened with that money.
But let's say that if it's all stuck in a general fund, how do they go about ensuring, okay, we raised this amount of money, we want that money back?
Every fundraiser has a purpose, and that's what you have to use it for. And then if, say, the football team ended up with some extra money and they won and they say, we want to use our money to purchase these rings, they can do that, but they have to go back to the principal to get approval to do that, if it wasn't on their fundraiser to begin with.
And the principals and the finance ladies at the schools have had training, and they know the requirements on their fundraiser forms and what to do.
So let me ask you this question, which I was a former basketball coach, and of course at the end of the school year, we had like about $7,500 in the black, left over amongst fundraising and other activities. So I'm thinking I got $7,500 when I come into fall practice, and I got money to order my shoes and my practice gear. Well, anyway, of course, one particular sporting goods store was, we'll hold that until we get the purchase order. So I take the purchase order, so you can't order that because you don't have the money. Well, I said, well, why don't I have the money? Well, seemingly I was told that the principal has the authority, whatever's in that fund, that they can place it wherever they want. And so I'm saying, which kind of upset me, not necessarily because they took my money, if that's your prerogative, your privilege, or your power that you have, that you can do that. But what kind of upset me was they refused to tell me where it went. But so you can't, so I'm saying I can't order my practice gear because I don't have any money in my boys' basketball fund because you took it and you used it on something else, but you're not going to tell me what you used it for. So is that?
There's nothing in the Red Book that would allow a principal to do that.
Okay, so how do they do, how can you prove that you've got X amount of dollars? Let's say that it's all put in one big pool.
We keep up with
Normally,
the
the
money,
money,
right?
normally the money is not put in all one big pool. It should be split out in the activity fund, that there's basketball and football and the band and the yearbook and the beta club and
So it's
senior
all,
class.
it's put in there, but it's
So what I
put
was
in their
told-
heading.
if they're lacking or they're in the red in a certain area, they can take this money that I made, I'm in the black, and take it and
Not without your permission.
balance the budget over here.
Okay, so, and the ladies at the school now, because of the Red Book trainings, they print reports out for anyone who is raising funds, they can do that. And it is in different funds.
Okay, but that has been done in the past, so how do we make sure that it's not?
We've had so many Red Book trainings in the past 3 years, I wouldn't think that any principal nor a finance lady would let that happen. We're doing peer auditing, and that can be a discussion, but I'm sure that's not happening any longer. It may have happened in the past, but it's not happened in the past 2 or 3 years.
So let me ask you another question about boosters, which I've been in some systems, a couple of districts, coaches, as far as the Boosters Club, which is kind of like, you know, they have their own account, but they were required to, I guess, submit to the financial officer at the high school a report, you know, maybe mid-year and also at the end of the year or something. But, you know, if they wanted to buy my kids travel suits or whatever, then that's their prerogative, they could go ahead and buy those. And so I
It's
haven't said
still
actually,
their fundraiser.
which I've tried to call
approval.
KSSAA and I've been unable, I just wonder what the guidelines and regulations are on.
It comes back to Title IX. All of their expenditures are reported on the Title IX report each year. And as long as they are not doing anything that causes your district to be out of compliance with Title IX, and as long as they are living within what they put on their fundraiser, because their fundraisers have to be approved also, and state what they're gonna do with that money.
So they're pretty much at liberty to do pretty much what they want to.
Okay, with Title IX, that's ensuring even funding for girls and boys both, correct?
Yes, that's
what-
ensuring that it's comparable.
Okay,
Yes.
it's comparable. What if you had, yeah, and this is the problem, you know, if you have a boys basketball booster and a girls basketball booster, and the boys raise far more, or vice versa, the girls raise far more, what happens in that case? Let's say if you have the boys basketball boosters and they raise 6,000, and the girls have a booster program and they raise 2, what happens in a case like that?
What it all comes down to is being comparable, like if the boys' basketball team gets new uniforms, the girls' basketball team probably needs to get new uniforms also to keep things balanced.
Well, here's that one, and I'm sorry,
That's okay.
but at Lawrence County, it's like I was given a budget, the boy, which I coach girls, and then the boys basketball, we were given a budget, like, here's you $5,000, of course, you had the every 4-year rotation with uniforms, which the school bought those. And so anyway, the rotation was fine. And they said, they gave us both the same amount of money. For your necessity, say I got 5,000, boys got 5,000. This is for your shoes, basketball, your necessity. Now, if you want something extra, or if you were going to a tournament in Florida or Gatlinburg or wherever, then that's up to your boosters. If they want to take care of that for you, that's fine also. So
It's still counted on the Title IX report, no matter what the source of the funds are. And what would happen is if, say, the boys get all the new uniforms and the new practice jerseys, and they take 2 out-of-state trips, and the girls' team don't, when the Title IX report comes out, those Title IX officers will come in and have a discussion with the athletic director, and that's where the district can get in trouble, because Title IX puts all your federal funding in jeopardy, which is
when I
your
was
food
there,
service.
of course, they came in and they did the audit. Title IX came in and did the audit when I was at Lawrence County. And of course, they looked at it, and which, you know, we went out more tournaments than the boys, I guess, but anyway, it's the baseball team, and of course they're good, of course they're precise on what they do, and you know, you spend so much on the baseball field here, you need to try to balance it out in softball, but.
And the Title IX
But
funds
sometimes
will
it-
force you to do something.
But then again, sometimes, it's like, let's say, this particular team is really good at fundraising. I've seen that. They can raise money, then and work and put forth the effort, while this other team don't put forth much effort and don't, then are we saying we're going to penalize this team that works hard and this one that,
We're saying sometimes that means the district has to put in more money for that team that doesn't
so
work
the
as hard.
district?
Yes,
The district.
it's a district
You put it on the head for me. Thank you very much.
Tammy, are you presently receiving financial reports from each principal monthly?
Yes.
The timely report, thank you.
Yes. You're welcome.
You've helped me tremendously.
It's already, has been a fruitful conversation, hasn't it?
Yes, very much so.
I was just
Can we
told,
leave now?
I was heard that there was supposed to be a sizable donation given to the boys' baseball program. But the person giving it wanted it to be just for the boys. And they couldn't do that. They couldn't accept the donation. Sorry.
They can accept donations, can't they?
Yes, they can accept donations. What it could have been though is what they were wanting to do would have made things out of sync on your Title IX report.
Mhm.
And sometimes you have to ask boosters or donors to say, wait, we can't do this because we don't have the money in our budget to do this for the other group. So give us a year or two and we can get it in the budget and then we can make this happen. But sometimes there's more to the story, but what people hear is, we were told we couldn't give that money. But there might have been more to the story.
So a
I don't
donor,
know.
a donor is actually,
I guess they're prohibited from doing it.
not prohibited, but encouraged not to for a year.
There could be times, yes.
Well, what if
But-
there was something specific that they were going to donate the
Baseball
money
team was
for?
going to buy.
Say if it was for a mower, could they buy the mower and donate the mower to it? How would that?
Well, that wouldn't be just
Offset.
for the baseball team though, would
What?
it? Well, none of that stuff would, really,
Well, yeah.
cage or,
But if I wanted to give any team or any activity fund $100, I could do it. And, okay.
but just can't specify it's the boys' team, right?
They can.
Yeah.
Yes, they can do that. It's just you have to be careful when it comes to spending that money.
Because when they come in for the audit, like
Right.
Tom Leonard say,
Yes.
this is
It's
not,
offset.
you know, there's
I guess
kind
I
of
was-
out of balance here, you
Right.
need to try to even this thing out.
And then
here.
what would happen is that happen, it would be come back to you all to have to find the money to make that happen
Yeah,
for a
to
girls.
balance it up.
Yes.
Yeah, say, well, this team, they put forth the effort, and they raised this amount of money, this one over here didn't do a whole lot, but
We're gonna
then
give it
we're
to them.
responsible for balancing it out. Okay, I got you. Like I say, you've been a big help.
I guess I'm
I
confused.
was told, of course, I can't answer Ronnie this, but I remember there was something that happened
But let's say this happened.
It had to do with the donation.
Let's say, and you run into this, I've run into this too. Hey, I've got a affluent parent here that's, he makes, and his kid plays for me, which I never did like to put myself in a situation where I thought somebody, but let's say it happens. And he said, well, I want to buy you this pitching machine or whatever, the tarp for your baseball, my kid's playing. So then how do you go, he said, I want my kid to have this. Not after you graduate, I want this baseball while my kid's playing, I'm gonna give you this money. And we're all crunched for money.
Yeah.
You know how that for us across the state of Kentucky. So what do? No, we can't take that. Because our girls are softball.
Right, that's what I was asking. That's what
That
I
was-
thought, that's what I thought you explained to
Yeah,
Gary.
that was a
So
problem.
how do you handle that?
I mean, you've got to, if you're gonna take that and you're gonna have a tarp on your baseball field,
So we gotta
then
find a
you're
way.
gonna have to find a way to
get
fund,
the girls.
to do something for the
Okay.
girls.
The girls softball program does have a tarp for their field,
Exactly.
right?
And
The
they
boys
do.
don't.
Yeah,
It wouldn't have to be a tarp though, would it?
No.
Just.
No, well, they should use that as an example.
Yeah, well, the girls' team has a tarp for their field and the boys does not, so does that mean we need to buy one for the boys?
Yeah, it had to be fair.
Even that.
Let's balance it out.
It's,
Okay.
it's the money part. It's not actual,
Yeah, you spend on certain
If
things,
you
but
want to
let's
say
say,
the same
yeah, but
amount,
let's
no
say this
matter what it's
happens.
for.
Let's say this happens.
Yeah.
My boys' team wants a
Almost
tarp.
added it.
They need a tarp. And their excuse is, hey, the girls got a tarp, why can't we have a tarp? So what do you do in that situation? It's
Now,
happened.
Tammy, we gotta go back and find out what we got to even
However,
out
what
that
I
tarp.
have heard, the
that's
Title
what
IX works quite nicely in making things comparable for boys and girls, but not very well for making things comparable if the girls
Yeah,
have
I
more and the
think-
boys don't.
What
It
I
does not
found
really
with,
address it.
like with the audit, unless it's a completely out of balance, I mean, completely off the board, they don't really say a whole lot.
Well, there are places in Lexington all the time that you're seeing where some high school is having to physically put some work into a softball field because they've
Absolutely.
upgraded a baseball field. Or they're having to upgrade some facility that's balancing things
So
out.
what was the
And
high
it's-
school program down there where they put tons of money, not only in their field, but in their pocket?
There've been a couple of times that's
Yeah.
happened, yes.
And the girls didn't have.
Hey, Ron, well, Ronnie, I'll ask this question, you don't have to answer.
It's quite a bit.
But what, there was a sizable donation to go to the boys,
Just for the boys baseball.
just for the
thing,
boys baseball program.
And he
And
was
Ronnie,
told that he could not make that,
We need that back.
if he made that donation, it would have to be spread over.
I don't really know.
to
And
both
he
the
said
girls and the
no,
boys.
he wanted to go just directly to the baseball team.
I know. Right.
When they told him no, he said, no, I'm not donating.
And I told Ronnie, I said, that don't sound right. That doesn't sound right.
How much would a baseball field tarp be, Ron?
It's according to just what size you get.
It's about 6 or 7.
Yeah, about $6,000 to
It
$7,000.
depends on if you go 120 by 120 or.
Just the.
But the only thing you would need is a tarp just to
Just the
cover the
infield.
infield.
We
You
need
don't want
another
something that would
I think it's
cover
about
your grass
7,000.
on the outer side, because that'd kill it out.
6 or 7 years.
About
It's
$6,000.
120 by 120 to cover it.
So now we could tell this person here, because from what I understand, it comes from a really, really good source, that this person can donate, if they want to donate exclusively to the boys, that they can.
Yes, they can.
They
But
can.
it's gonna be up to the athletic director and the principal to sit down with this person probably to figure out, because every year that report is looked at. So if the girls bought their tarp years ago, then that's not on this year's report. So the boys purchasing a tarp this year is gonna be on this report. So it's all about being balanced, but not dollar for dollar and not total item for total item. Like, it's not shoe for shoe. It's in generality is how they look at it. But your athletic director should be very familiar with that Title IX report and what questions are asked of them when those folks come and take a look at that report.
It seems like it'd be really unfair to a donor if, let's say he just wanted to donate, $1,000 to the boys solely, or $1,000 to the girls solely. Then it ought to be,
They can do that, yes.
they can do that, but then they've got to ensure that, well, let's say.
They don't have to, we do.
Huh?
The donor doesn't have to make sure it's balanced out. You all have
District
to
does.
make sure it's balanced out. Because you all will be the ones on the hook if something is not right.
So if we take a donation, then,
Then we got
then we, as a district, we gotta balance it out,
Possibly,
so we would have to come up with the money.
depending again on the amount.
depending on what's happening that year
Right,
with all
right,
of these
actually,
groups.
Right, yeah. And we might not have, it might have, the boys may not get any more money the rest of the year, but the girls may. At the end of the year, it might balance out and we'll be all right.
But
Can you remember what
you've
that
clarified a lot of things.
Yeah, can you remember what that money was for, Ronnie?
Oh, I was told it was just a donation. I don't think he specified what it was. It was just gonna be a donation to the baseball team.
Yeah, but it's around the time that all this stuff was brought up about the field, the condition of the field, the equipment that they were using. I remember it was sizable enough to buy, a mower We should use a mower for both fields. You could
What's
use
it
a
look
mower
like
for
we
the
voted,
girls.
we approved like, the drag machine and the mower, which is gonna be used for not only boys' baseball field, but the girls, so we're fine on that, And if somebody donated some money and you're saying, well, we're gonna buy a drag machine, well, we're gonna use it, there's no problem with that.
It's not on the revenue, it's on the expenditure. It's where the balancing has to happen, it's where the money's spent.
I hate that, I lost that $7,500. It's hard to raise, it's hard to get.
Okay, does anybody have any more questions or anything on this? If not, then I need a motion to approve the second reading.
I'll make a motion.
Have a motion for a second reading. I need a second on it.
I'll second it, thank you very much.
Have a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
No, I was just a late eye.
Oh,
I had to
okay.
chew on
Okay.
this cow tail, and it kind of kept my mouth. I'm for y'all.
Okay,
I'm with you.
thank you. Okay. Motion carries on that. Our next item is going to be the discussion of finances and your budget.
So am I up?
You're
All right. I'm Ramona Gardner, and I work with KEDC, and I'm here to give you all an hour and a half of school finance. So I think we might have covered a half hour worth of it on what we've been discussing, and I'm glad you all got a little benefit out of that. I'm going to give you each a little packet. And if we could just go, and if y'all would just tell me how many years, or if you're new in the position of board,
I'm green.
you're green,
2 years.
2 years?
That's my third year.
your third year, okay. And if y'all would just sign your name, I have, for you to get credit through KSBA for this to be your finance training, we have to send in a lot of paperwork here. All right. You been here 10? Or it seems
Seems
like?
like, I said, I've been here until I seems like.
Okay, so 3, 2.5,
Maybe you're 5.
I'm new.
new? And how many years?
9 months.
Oh, you're fairly new also?
Years.
Years. Okay, you're the veteran then, right? Perfect. Okay.
And the more I learn, the more I realize I'm more.
Well, great. Well, what I'm hoping is that you all will learn a little bit more about district finances, and you all have